there's almost a mythology to it. Like that's almost, when you really get to it, that's almost what you want, more than even the shows sometimes, I think.
Oh, and there's like that side of like you're hearing all these stories of other bands. Like back in the day, we were like obsessed with, we had heard like that Misery Signals had played 300 shows in a year.
Okay.
So we were just like obsessed with that idea. Like we have to play. There was like two things. We had to play 300 shows in a year, and it was like the time that Modern Life is War was like out, and they had that song Dead Ramones. Okay. And the line in it was 28 shows, 28 days. And so we're like, we have to play 28 shows in a row, and we have to like go on play 300 shows in a year. And we hit 300 shows in a year in 12 months, like way before we ever played 28 shows in a row.
Really?
Yeah, it was just like impossible to like eke out this exact.
Monday shows are tough to book, man.
Yeah, and you just have days off. Like you'd finish a 26-day tour.
Especially in fucking Canada.
Oh, or like across the States. We just like could never do it. It wasn't until like 2009 that we were able to do it.
You got it?
But we played like 2006, 2007, and 2008. We played like 300 shows within those like kind of like cycles, and we still managed to like write and record Hail Destroyer like in that time. And it was just like, it's like crazy, but talking about like mythos, it's like, oh, like that was like even a thing we were like talking about and living and like counting like shows to like see if we could do it.
It's great because it gives you a goal. It gives you something to go after rather than just like, oh, we're going to go hit the next fucking show.
Well, and it's when you kind of like learn how something works. Yeah. Because you're just like, oh, to us, like Misery Signals is killing it. So we're just like, well, obviously, like you get to that point by like playing tons of shows. And same with like Every Time I Die. We're just like, this band is on tour always. So we're just like, we want to just be like road hardened like beasts like this. And the only way to get there is to just like tour. And so everyone is kind of like egging each other on and like talking about it. Like same, Comeback Kid tours like crazy. Like Alexis tours like crazy. Like, you know, we ended up meeting the Rise Against guys because that was that whole same kind of crew. And it was just like, oh, you guys tour super hard. And they like, again, took us under their wing like 2007, just being like, yo, this is like touring. This is how you have a girlfriend while you're on tour.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
just being,
hilarious,
like, really
man.
cool.
Like life fucking, like life advice and shit.
Because everyone, like, and we're like this too, you see, like, your former self. Right. And you're like, kind of like, instead of, like, going back when you're 16, you're just like, yo, dude, I'm going to go, like, to the internet cafe to make a phone call. Like, this is how you can make an international phone call because your cell phone doesn't work here. Right. And I was like, sick. Let's go do this. Right. And you, like, call home and you're like, oh, I get it. Yeah. Or, like, Tim from Rise Against would, like, take me and we would, like, write postcards. And he was like, dude, I write postcards all the time. And I was like, that's a sick idea. So I would, like, go with him to, like, the post office. Oh, and I was like, oh, this is rad. Like, okay, I understand, like, being a good dude on tour and, like, having, like, these, like, cool examples. Like, I was like, oh, okay. Yeah, tour's sick.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
It's because it's funny because you're now talking about the stuff that you never think about. That is so vital.
Oh, totally.
Right? Because it's the how do you live your fucking life? It's not just how do you go be a musician, but how do you not end up blowing it all apart? Right?
Yeah, and just like you'd hear all those, like everyone would just be like, tour in a van as long as you can. Like don't go into a bus. Right. Tour in a van until it's gonna like literally break your band up, because that's the only way that you make money. So you would have like people like telling you these things, and they'd be like, see those guys on the bus? They don't have any money because they're on a bus. They'd be like, tour in a van as long as you possibly can. You're like, okay.